What's happening, folks? Back with another Bee Gees reaction, and we're returning to Whom It May Concern, 1972. Thank you, as always, to Amy for this awesome gatefold vinyl, which I feel like I have to do this every time. And yes, we're moving to the second side, and the first track on the second side is Sea of Smiling Faces, which my immediate response to makes me think this could be about their life and career as musicians, people who perform in front of a sea of smiling faces. So yes, that would be my hypothesis. Of course, it could be something unrelated to their performance as musicians, but my first inclination is to think that this might be a bit self-referential. I'll see what I can pick up on a first listen. I will note that this is another one written by all three of them, according to the information on the back sleeve here, or the gatefold sleeve. And yes, let us give a listen to Sea of Smiling Faces, the first track on side 2 of To Whom It May Concern, 1972, by the Bee Gees.
Yesterday was history, who knows what there is gonna be when we meet again. Will you smile and tell the world about me? Can there be no doubt about me? I was your friend. As I gaze upon a sea of smiling faces, walk amongst the glow of moonlit places, the look in your eye, to see your smile won't bring you back to me. I remember things we planned the world would never understand, but we found a way. And the world of love you gave to me, each moment is a memory, whatever they say. As I gaze upon a sea of smiling faces, walk amongst the glow of moonlit places, the look in your eye, to see your smile won't bring you back to me. Oh, the look in your eye, to see your smile won't bring you back to me. Yesterday was history, who knows what there is gonna be when we meet again. Will you smile and tell the world about me? Can there be no doubt about me? I was your friend. As I gaze upon a sea of smiling faces, walk amongst the glow of moonlit places, the look in your eye, to see your smile won't bring you back to me. Oh, the look in your eye, to see your smile won't bring you back to me. Oh, the look in your eye, to see your smile won't bring you back to me. Oh, the look in your eye, to see
Really nice bass flourish right at the end there, right before it began to fade. So lyrically, I think I was wrong. I think this is a more narrow story, and I think the Sea of Smiling Faces are all the other people out in the world. Now, at first I thought he was saying that this person was likely to come back to him, but then it seems to be the refrain that the smile on their face, the look in their eye won't bring them back to him, but he's still suggesting what will happen when we meet again. So yes, like speaking to memories and to places, so it sounds like someone with whom he had a relationship but is now separated from, and although that doesn't mean that there was a breakup, It could just be literal physical separation while someone's away, while they're, taking care of something at university or whatever it might be. This feels like there is some specific reason between them why they're not together, not necessarily something more practical and unavoidable. So it sounds like maybe she broke up with him and is now out among the world. But it's funny because, like, as I said in advance, I'm thinking of an audience, of a crowd. But when the phrase itself, a sea of smiling faces, it suggests the way people in large numbers begin to blur into each other. They look like one continuous unit rather than individual droplets, let's say. And in that regard, it's like someone who's been so specifically important to him has now gone back into this ocean of humanity, and he's hoping to, get her back to a specific proximity. But other smiling faces, like if they're all smiling faces, then it suggests that maybe she's happy even though she's away, and maybe that's part of why he's saying that, he knows that smile isn't on its own going to bring her back to him. So, yeah, it sounds like someone who's still determined to recreate the joys and the experiences and those memories that he's holding on to, but he's also a bit realist or aware that it's not on the cards, at least immediately, so he'll have to figure something to entice or to encourage her to give him another chance, something like that. Maybe there's some lines I'm misreading here, maybe there's a crucial detail that I didn't hear correctly, but yeah, it sounds like a more narrow story, not about them as musicians or performers, but definitely I'm curious as to whether this other person is being spoken to in a, let's say, literal sense, where, like, okay, she might not be in front of him, I think that's the point, but there's still some chance that he can contact her, or if it's someone who's, like, speaking to the world or in their head, addressing this other person, but with no realistic expectation that they'll actually hear what he's saying. So I feel like it's more the former, where there's at least still some chance of re-meeting, contact, and it's just a question of whether he can convince them that, he's still worth their emotion, their commitment, or their involvement. So yeah, either way, I enjoy the arrangement. Again, it's got some different ingredients along the way. Obviously the acoustic guitar is a notable feature, and it intensifies a little bit as it comes back around to the chorus each time. Definitely we have some sweet strings that were most notable in the latter half of the tune. As I said, there's a nice bass flourish that suddenly became very prominent right at the end. And it's not just the arrangement, it's the sequencing, it's the chronology, it's the individual moments along the sonic trajectory of the tune that I think they have such a well-tuned ear for. So yes, the sonic composition of their music is something that I have consistently noticed the quality of as I've gone through these different albums. And, even at this point, having gone through a greatest hits album as well as a number of albums spanning now at least like 2+ decades or so, it's remarkable to me that even as they sort of navigate some different stylings and even subgenres, their sense for how to put a tune together compellingly with the music is something that just keeps standing out again and again and again. So yes, another cool song from the Bee Gees. Curious to hear anyone's insight on the lyrics. When we come back the next time, it'll be Bad Bad Dreams. I don't think that's one I've reacted to, which is to say, having gone through that Bee Gees Volume 1 compilation, I'm always like hyper paranoid now that I'm going to end up mistakenly not remembering an earlier song / reaction and re-reacting to it, but I don't think I've reacted to Bad Bad Dreams before. In any case, let me know what you think of this one, and we'll be back for the next one before you know it. Peace.